Italians insist their Bosnian relief plane was shot down. K-Reg flop confirmed, no improvement seen till 94. Soldiers shoot dead an unarmed youth running away in Belfast. Unique liver transplant gives Liam a chance of life. And dollar doldrums leave American tourists wishing they weren't here. Good evening. Evidence is building that the Italian relief plane, which fell out of the sky before it reached Sarajevo yesterday, was shot down. 2 Italian cabinet ministers are certain it was. Eyewitnesses claim they saw 2 rockets homing in on it, one of which hit. Parts of the wreckage are a mile apart. Mr. Major said he was discussing with Western allies what action to take if it turned out the plane had been shot down. United Nations investigators who've been to the crash site at Jasenik have not given their official verdict.
What it was that caused the Italian aid plane to crash on this wooded hillside is not known for certain tonight, but evidence is mounting that it was shot down, probably by heat-seeking ground-to-air missiles. The wreckage was widely scattered as if the plane had broken up before it hit the ground.
I saw a rocket hit the plane and I heard 2 explosions. I saw a wing break off the plane and the wing crashed separately. I saw a wing and the rest of the plane circling as they fell to the ground.
This area is occupied by Croats and Muslims, but fiercely contested by the Serbs. All 3 forces have such missiles. The 4 Italian crewmen were probably killed instantly. Their cargo of blankets for the people of Sarajevo littered the forest. UN forces sealed off the area to begin an investigation into this tragedy, but the Italian government already believes their plane was shot down.
The aircraft has probably been shot down.
We don't yet have confirmation of this, just significant indications from the United Nations Protection Force. It's now a matter of finding out more about this to decide who is responsible.
The crash and its implications were discussed this evening by the Yugoslav Prime Minister and the UN Special Envoy.
I don't know what happened to the aircraft. We got a team from UNPROFOR to the aircraft last night. I believe the Italians are sending in a specialist team, and until they have done their specialist expert work, I don't think anybody can speculate. I'm certainly not going to about what happened to the aircraft.
I'd be very surprised if you can ever find out who fired a missile, were it to be the fact that that brought down this plane. All experience shows in these incidents, it might have been handheld, it might have been a more sophisticated, heavier missile, but even so, it's almost certain to be mobile.
The Italian plane had flown out from the Adriatic port of Split. Aid was still being loaded at the airport today, but all flights have stopped. They may not start again while the threat of missile attack remains. A UN convoy bringing 60 tons of food and medicines by road to Gorazde did get through, but only after a long confrontation with Serb militias who occupy most of the route. These local Serb fighters are highly suspicious of this UN convoy. They say that a previous convoy, about a month ago, brought in weapons and ammunition as well as food and medicine to the Muslims in Gorazde. And the local commander showed me this mortar fin, which was a type of weapon he said the Muslims did not have before that convoy, but started using immediately after it had left. The UN commander says such a thing is impossible. They don't carry weapons. Eventually, the long convoy did reach Gorazde, the UN flag flying proudly. The town has been under siege for 4 months until this weekend, and inhabitants say they're still under Serb fire. The convoy passed many signs of bitter fighting. Serb bodies still lay on the road. Serb positions overlooking Gorazde are now occupied by triumphant Muslim fighters. Many houses in the town are still burning, and there was evidence of looting. The food and medical supplies were hastily unloaded. They're desperately needed by patients in the local hospital who've been without the most basic drugs. David Rose, News at 10, Bosnia.
Here, the Chancellor Norman Lamont and other European finance ministers are meeting in Bath tonight, planning how they'll protect their currencies if France votes no to Maastricht. Mr. Lamont, who yesterday announced record borrowing to support sterling, saw some of his work undone as a weak American dollar pulled the pound down with it. The pound closed below 2 Deutschmarks 80, down 2/3 of a Pfennig.
European finance ministers gathering in the gentle surroundings of Bath's Raw Crescent this evening face one of their toughest meetings. At stake, the future shape of the exchange rate mechanism which supports Europe's currencies. The Chancellor was keeping tight-lipped, but Germany's finance minister Theo Weigel said he hoped the meeting would help stabilise currencies. The Prime Minister, enjoying less favourable weather than his Chancellor on a visit to North Wales, was giving support to a yes on Maastricht despite its faults.
We all believe that the treaty has defects. It's a treaty that's been reached after tough negotiation with 12 countries. Everybody has a belief that it is the right way forward, but not everybody likes every single part of the treaty.
But at the same time, one of John Major's former cabinet colleagues was giving his vote to the no campaign.
I don't believe that that will create a political crisis or an economic crisis. The community will continue. The Treaty of Rome will continue to be in force. We will pursue the single market, which is the most important thing that we have to achieve in 93 and 94.
Stabilising currencies in the event of a no vote will be a different matter. Currencies could be realigned to give the German mark a higher value, but the UK, for one, is set against any move to devalue the pound. Countries like the UK with weak currencies could put up interest rates, but that wouldn't necessarily stop the pound falling. The third option is intervention to support the weaker currencies. This seems the most likely course of action.
I think were there to be a no vote in France, then short term the members of the EC would be determined to defend the exchange rate mechanism at all costs. But that would be in the short term. Longer term, I think a no vote in France would raise a question mark over the whole issue of policy integration in Europe.